like old times. Yes. Our next speaker is District 3 Supervisor Charles McGlashan. Welcome, Supervisor McGlashan. It's well known that Supervisor McGlashan has been a leader in green business, technology, and practices and sustainability, not only in the county but in the region. And we're so fortunate to have you. I recently was at an IVC forum learning myself about community choice aggregation, and Supervisor McGlashan was a passionate speaker on the subject and is a real leader in our county. So we appreciate you being here and welcome.
Thank you.
Supervisor McGlashan.
Thank you. It's great to be here tonight with all of you, and I'm very grateful that Senator Migden and Assemblyman Huffman are with us. As Carol mentioned, this was her baby, and for that I'm incredibly grateful. Aggregation, in my view, is an elegant hybrid between local power and some of the benefits of local power without the hassles of going full public power and the status quo that we have in the system. And as you in this room understand, the threat of climate change leads all of us to want to do anything and everything possible to beat the targets, cut our greenhouse gas emissions, and do whatever we can at the local level to sort of walk the talk and be the change that we wish was happening at the federal level, frankly. And I think Carol Migden's bill was very timely in the wake of the energy crisis at the turn of the century. It has given us, however, a chance to design one of those elegant win-win-win solutions that we look for in sustainability thinking. And as Supervisor Arnold just mentioned, we want those 3 E's to connect together in an overlap, and that's the central symbol and theme of our new countywide plan. And it's really the target that we need to shoot for, integrating those 3 E's. And so far, aggregation looks to hold that vision well. So far, so good in our analysis of the topic. Aggregation portends, in my view, so far, it looks like it could be a tremendous economic win for local businesses. It might provide the opportunity for homeowners, commercial enterprises, school districts, and counties, city governments to oversize solar, for example, and become part of the energy generation system. And it might even give us the chance to take away the agonizing cost-benefit analysis that individual homeowners and businesses have to do to justify installing one of these systems. By going local, we might be able to pool our resources, capitalize that investment, and work as a local community and build those solar assets and little windmills and so forth for ourselves over our own rooftops as a little distributed local system, so that each homeowner doesn't have to justify the net out of pocket of $8,000 to $10,000, but instead might be part of a county approach to making that investment as a pool. It's an incredible opportunity. You can imagine the return that that could provide local installers and our efforts as politicians to energize the local economy and find local jobs for local people. The potential win so far is the greenhouse gas emission reduction is also looking very strong. Every time we have a meeting about aggregation, since our feasibility study was finished in May of '05, the risk analysis and liability analysis that we performed as a board in '06, our 2 meetings since spring of '06 and this point in time here in early '07, we've had 2 meetings with every city and the city managers of every city in the county represented at the table now. We're sort of dress rehearsing our future lives together as a JPA doing this. At every single one of these meetings, the economic, environmental, and cost and risk analysis presented by aggregation looks better and better. It's actually very good news. We've been looking under every rock that we could find to unearth the hidden boogeyman, and so far we haven't found one. There is not risk to the general fund. There is not excessive legal or liability risk to any of the city or county governments that would engage in this. There's no loss of local efficiency investment opportunity or local credits for solar or net metering benefits or any of those things that we would otherwise enjoy staying in the status quo. as I love to joke with staff, so far aggregation looks cheaper but greener. So tell me what I'm not supposed to like about that. We looked at a scenario 2 weeks ago as this sort of energy task force of government entities, and there is a scenario that we're exploring in the business plan that could beat our 51% renewable target within the next 10 years. We might be able to beat that and immediately and permanently stay cheaper than rates we would pay otherwise if we stick with PG&E. And it sounds too good to be true. And believe me, we'll spend the next year making sure it isn't too good to be true. But so far, the newest analysis that has come from the consulting team suggests that if we have the stomach to invest in renewable energy credits and then phase in local renewable energy assets here in the county, and then buy and invest in renewable energy projects elsewhere in the state of California and over the Sierra Nevada mountains, if we diversify an investment strategy and we capitalize that at the very beginning, we drop cheaper than PG&E from day one. We dramatically increase our renewable use and will be 3 times faster than the renewable portfolio standard that the state can provide, and will be cheaper and better than PG&E the whole way. The other amazing thing is that all of us in this room won't be able to tell the difference. We'll still get our bill from PG&E. They'll still come out and service our wires. They'll still provide all the billing and customer service. And that's the elegant piece of the legislation, is PG&E gets to keep the parts they want. They keep the profitable pieces of the business. We take over responsibility for sourcing and supplying electricity. And that's the part of the business we want, because we get to walk our talk and support state efforts to go green as fast as possible. I'll end with a wild idea that might even make this sexier for all of us to play with. I'm bringing a proposal to the Board of Supervisors to invest in a carbon credit card that is being led by the inventor of the LEED Green Building Standards, a guy named David Johnston, is working on a pilot, working with San Francisco County, Alameda County, Oakland, and Marin County to develop a pilot program such that if we as consumers implement measurable reductions in greenhouse gas, so we buy a Prius or a Honda Insight or something, we actually bank credits on a credit card. You can then take that credit card and redeem it for products at a green business. So you swipe your carbon credit card and then you swipe your Visa card and you walk out with your new green computer or something. The business gets to consolidate all those carbon credits up through the Visa backroom operations in the credit card system and sells the credit on the Chicago or London Carbon Exchange and turns those credits into money. So the business gains 2 things. They don't suffer any discount, and they get a loyal customer that wants to redeem their credits at their business. If we can combine that with the opportunity to go local green and bank those credits as a county and help the state meet its AB 32 greenhouse gas reduction goals, we have another one of those elegant 3-way wins that the individual greenhouse gas reduction efforts that each consumer does, they have an incentive to bank that for credits and money that they spend with our green businesses. And then working as a collective, we help the state hit its mandate reduction, and everybody wins. I can't tell you how thrilled I am to work on a county board that gets that, that's willing to provide leadership in a state that has leaders like you all who give us these kinds of market mechanisms and tools that we can implement to basically prove to a fairly retrograde federal government that if you follow our example, we'll help you figure out your foreign policy and your energy policy. And as many of you know, I'm certainly not shy about telling the federal government what I think about the way they ought to run their business. Jared and Carol are doing such a good job at the state level. They haven't had the Marin County Board telling you guys what to do, but we're not shy, and you don't need us. And I'm extraordinarily grateful for the opportunity to investigate this program, look for the boogeymen under the rocks, and to continue to develop a business plan with our city partners. If everything goes well, in about 1 year's time, every council in the county will be taking a vote to opt you in to this aggregation system. Some cities may conclude it's not worth it, so you can browbeat them when they decide not to let you in. Believe me, the city of Mill Valley will hear loud and clear from me if they don't opt my electricity rates into this program. But my prediction is we have a hard year of homework to go through. A lot of questions need to be answered. The city managers have to do their job to ask, awkward financial risk questions. And then at the end of the day, as all 12 governments get comfortable with the idea, in about 1 year's time, you'll all be receiving notice that your local government is considering this idea. And if all goes well, we will soon be knocking the socks off the state greenhouse gas reduction targets. Thanks.
Thank you, Supervisor McGlashan.